While washing her face, the girl suddenly noticed something strange. The acne that had plagued her for years was inexplicably fading. At first, she thought she was dreaming, but when she picked up the towel to wipe her face again, the acne vanished completely at a visible speed. This instantly reminded her of the accident that happened that morning. Initially, she thought her father had hit some wild animal, but when the father and daughter got out to check, they discovered it wasn't just any animal. It was a rare unicorn. Strangely, the unicorn's horn was emitting an eerie glow. Just as Annie was getting curious about this new creature, her father quickly took action to dispose of the unicorn to avoid being discovered. Purple blood splattered onto their faces. Annie figured her acne disappearing was probably related to getting splashed with the unicorn's purple blood. Sure enough, her father's body was also experiencing changes. After years of nearsightedness, he could now see crystal clear without his glasses, as if his myopia had been cured by some magical force. Little did they know, along with their physical changes, a terrible disaster was about to unfold. Jack, a lawyer, had come to this wealthy man's mountain villa because the tycoon was dying of cancer and had called Jack to arrange his will. But just then, Annie suddenly appeared and interrupted him. Since the unicorn's body was still hidden in the car from that morning, Annie told her father to get rid of it quickly, because she'd discovered the unicorn possessed some kind of magical power. No sooner had she spoken than they heard noises from the car outside, followed by violent shaking. This immediately alerted the wealthy man that something was wrong, and he quickly sent someone to check the car, only to find something seemed to be struggling inside. Before anyone could react, the unicorn suddenly pierced through the car. Jack couldn't believe it. The unicorn had somehow come back from the dead. The terrified bodyguard immediately tried to subdue it. Seeing that the secret was out, Jack couldn't hide it anymore and had to confess about hitting the unicorn that morning, explaining how the purple blood on their faces had caused strange changes to their bodies. The well-informed tycoon instantly realized this unicorn might possess some kind of healing ability. To verify his hunch, the pharmaceutical company owner had his men take them both to the lab for comprehensive physical examinations. They eventually found that the unicorn's blood had no value, but the horn on its head was extremely special. Preliminary analysis showed the horn was the substance that had cured Annie's acne and Jack's nearsightedness. This discovery instantly thrilled the tycoon. This might be his last chance to cure his cancer. So he immediately had his staff grind the unicorn's horn into powder bit by bit, then injected it into his IV drip. Incredibly, after finishing one IV bag, the tycoon's cancer miraculously healed, and he even threw away the cane he'd used for over a decade. It seemed the unicorn's horn really did have healing powers. The tycoon saw a huge business opportunity. If he could turn all the unicorn horns into medicine, wouldn't he make a fortune? But hearing this, Annie suddenly felt uneasy. She went to the study and started searching for information about unicorns, discovering these magical creatures had appeared back in medieval times. Back then, some capitalists had hunted these unicorns en masse for profit. Although many people's diseases were cured, they all ended up cursed somehow and met horrible deaths. To prevent tragedy from repeating itself, Annie rushed to the tycoon and begged him not to do this. But the tycoon was already blinded by greed and had the unicorn packed up to be transported elsewhere. The tycoon then threw a champagne party to reward the father and daughter who'd brought him this fortune. But just then, the mansion suddenly lost power for no apparent reason, and even their phones seemed to be